Hi, I'm Josh Steffler, and I'm with wearechange.victoria.org and Freedom Free for All TV. I'm here at William Stevenson Park in Fernwood. Today is Saturday, November the 10th, 2012. We're just here at a community building event. We're at the last free public well. People are here gathering to collect water. VIHA, Vancouver Island Health Authority, has declared that the water is not authorized for human consumption, so people are just gathering it to feed their plants, their fish, wash their dogs. Of course, nobody would ever dream of drinking water that VIHA deems unsafe. VIHA deems this unsafe because there is no chlorine or ammonia added to this water or fluoride added. So we're just going to go over and talk to some of the organizers and the people and find out why they're here and what's the purpose of this event. Let's interview this guy. Excuse me, sir. We're filming for Freedom Free for All TV. Can you explain what you're doing here today?
I'm just trying to get some free water that's not been treated by the municipality, and it's actually fresh out of the ground, au natural from Mother Nature.
So what do you think about VIHA's declaration that it's unsafe to fit? Of course, you wouldn't be taking this water home to drink, would you?
Absolutely, that's what I'm taking it home for, is to drink it.
But VIHA says that it's unsafe. There's no ammonia or chlorine added to this water.
You know, the more I get into the regulations that are being imposed through the municipalities with all their, UN attaches and all the stuff that they're getting as rules and regulations and standards, the less I am interested in it, and I consider it more and more relevant, the things that they're saying. So I'm not interested in disinformation, and based on my research, this is a perfectly good spring well, and I'm going with what I can actually research myself. I don't trust these pseudo authorities. Okay,
so we're here with Bill Gores, the organizer. Bill, what's going on here today?
Well, what we're doing is once a month we've been operating the community well here. We like to do it on Saturday when plastic recycling is happening over at Vic High, so there's a lot of foot traffic going by, and we pump this well out once a month to try to clean it out a little bit, have it active, and to give people a chance to see what a wonderful resource we have here in Fernwood. It's also just one of the things about a well, and when it's being pumped, is people tend to come and hang around and just kind of hang around and talk, and it's a really great sort of community building exercise to have this happening. So that's, sort of in a nutshell what we're doing. And the well itself it's a community resource, and it belongs to the people of Victoria, and it has to do with the heritage of the Spring Ridge Fernwood area as being the original water source for Victoria before we started getting water out of the lakes. And it was always free. People just came here and helped themselves to water, and there's a lot of history in that. And so what we've done through the help of the City of Victoria and the Fernwood Community Association is to put together an initiative to reestablish a well here that commemorates the water source of public water in Victoria having originally been Fernwood, and more specifically that there's a well that's been set aside through royal proclamation in the Act of Union between the Crown Colony of this is old history, in like 1867, the Crown Colony of Vancouver Island and the Crown Colony of British Columbia merged into one entity, and the Hudson's Bay Company before then had the claim on Vancouver Island, so they handed over all the land to the bigger entity, which is British Columbia. And there were a couple of exceptions. One, some ecumenical land like the cathedral downtown, and I think maybe Beckley Farm or something in James Bay. And then also in that document was cited that one well for the use of the people of Victoria is set aside. And they named the area where that well was from the city plans, and we found old maps that show that it's around here. And this was, Spring Ridge was the place where the water came from. So what we're doing is, by reestablishing the well here, is to to commemorate and to sort of like re-emerge this community resource, this well that belongs to the people of Victoria. That's a free kind of asset.
Have you had the water tested before?
Yeah, we've had it tested pretty regularly ever since the well was put in, and that was 4 years ago now. And the testing has been, if this were, for example, if this was in somebody's backyard, and the testing would say, yeah, it's fit for human use. But because it's in a public place, the standards are much more stringent and higher, and in order for a water source to be used by the public people, it has to be tested for volume over time, and there's a whole lot of other criteria that the province, the Ministry of Environment and Vancouver Island Health Authority have for it. So this tests out as being good water, but it's not for public consumption. So what people do with it is water their plants with it.
So as the organizer, you don't encourage or condone people to drink this water at home, do you?
Basically what I tell people is what Viha has told me, is that this isn't water that you're supposed to take home and drink, and there are a whole list of things in law as to why that shouldn't happen. They supply water to us that's been tested and is safe, and any public source of water has to have some kind of treatment done to it, so some chlorination or filtration or something like that. And we're just pumping the water up out of the ground, and straight out of the ground. So it's nice water.
It's beautiful water. It's clean, it's clear, it's been tested, but of course you have no control over what people do with the water once they take it home, right? You can't accept any sort of responsibility once people take the water, of course, right?
Well, this water belongs to people of Victoria, so we're, in a way, we're all responsible for it, and it's all ours. But if somebody drank water out of the gutter, I wouldn't take responsibility for that. But I want to be careful about this. It's a community asset, and I want to keep it.
Just a quick question: how often do you guys do this again? Well,
we'd like to do it once a month. And but if there's more interest and more people that could come out more often, we'd do it more often. But this is great. Like today, there's must have been about, all told, at least 30 or 40 people have been here, and it's really nice to see this happen. It just feels good to have.
Yeah, it's a great community event. So thanks for inviting us, Bill, and it was great talking to you.
Thanks for coming out, and get a good picture of how nice the water looks as it's coming out of the well top here.
We're here with
Neil Johnson.
Neil, why are you here, Neil?
I'm here to get some living water.
And how did you hear about this?
I heard about this, well, I knew about it before, and then I'd come down to get some, and there was no handle on it. And then but a good friend told me that the day, we'd always been looking for what day of the month it was happening, and someone let us know a week ago, and then they created an event for it, and so that's how we heard about it. Community.
Yeah, through social media?
Yeah.
What do you plan to do with this water?
Well, I plan to drink it mainly, and maybe cook with it, but probably just mostly drink it.
So what do you feel about the fact that this water has no ammonia or chlorine in it to keep the water safe?
Well, I'm pretty stoked on that, and that's a big reason why I'm here, because when you drink this compared to drinking water from the tap, you can feel it and you can taste it, and that's different sensation all around from when you put it in your mouth to when you feel it an hour later. And the way I look at it is, you know, should we be filtering the air we're breathing right now? There's viruses floating around all the time. There's bugs, there's all this other stuff, but our body builds immunity to it. If we're drinking water like this all the time, our body would be fine with it, really. I think it's the best thing we could be doing, just like breathing this air.
So you have no concerns about the safety or purity of this water?
No, not at all. I think why the water from the tap, if it does, why it might need to be chlorinated is because it's going through these long pipelines from one place to another that are old, and who knows what else is in there, so it needs to be filtered and chlorinated. But I'd rather not be drinking that if I have the choice, and I have the choice, so that's what I'm doing.
So you mentioned something about living water. Could you just give us a quick explanation as to why this water would be considered living, and would that also suggest that the tap water is not living water?
Well, I wouldn't be able to give an educated explanation of the biology and other properties of why it would be living water, but like I said, you could definitely feel something different, and it's because it's active, I believe, the oxygen in it as well. But the one thing I feel is that when chlorine is meant to be killing things, that's why we put it in our water in the tap, and it's killing bad things and it's killing good things. And spring water generally, especially when you test it and make sure of it, is really mainly full of good things, and a little bit of bad things that might be in it your body could handle. And so I'd trade off any little bit of bad things for all the good things I can get, instead of having completely dead water. I don't know what that is even doing for me.
Hi.
Hi.
What are you doing here?
I'm pumping some water.
Why are you doing that?
Because this is raw water. It has its life force still in it, and I feel like that's very important to have in my life. And I like the sense of community that's here right now. We're all working towards getting good water.
It's almost like an old-fashioned water cooler, would you say?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have any concerns about the safety of this water?
Absolutely not.
What is your purpose for being here?
Connecting with my community and getting water that hasn't been pumped full of chemicals. You know, because I'm a human from this planet, and this is from this planet, and I feel like I need this water.
So you feel safe drinking this water, even though it's not treated by the water company?
I feel a lot safer about drinking minerals over chlorine and whatever else is added to our water.
Well, they also add ammonia. Do you feel safe drinking ammonia?
No, do you?
No. What are you planning on doing with this water today?
Well, I have a garden at home. We have kale, peppers, tomatoes, all types of things, and I have 3 garden plots, so I intend on giving my vegetables some nice healthy well water, some spring water from Fernwood here, and really excited. The plants always grow well and are very vibrant and healthy, so I think it's just a great opportunity to keep it local and keep it clean. It's nice that this is a local well water, in the sense that it's not treated through the regular means that for mass consumption by everyone else in the city. It doesn't have to travel through miles and miles of pipes. It doesn't have to go through a lot of the filtration systems and sewage filtration systems that, you know, with all these different elements. And you know, I have an organic garden, so I have 100% organic seed. I have 100% organic soil. And I think it's just a better fit for my plants in my garden to have spring water from a well that's just part of the earth. You know, it's natural vibrancy. It all works together in nature, and it's just the way it always has.
Do you have any concerns about the fact that this water is untreated?
No, not at all. No, I think it's great. think it's fantastic. There's a commemorative plaque here, and it just describes that this is a public well for public use. So I think it's great. I've drinking well water all over the province, and I think it tastes great. It looks great. The water itself is soft. It tastes fantastic. It's clear. You just want to drink more. It kind of it gets your appetite going for more. And yeah, I just see an amazing response from my plants, and they really enjoy it. I can tell. And then I go ahead and I eat my plants. So it's a full living cycle here locally, and just look forward to continuing to do this.
What would you say to people that suggest that you can't drink this because VIHA says that it's not for consumption? Like, obviously VIHA is there to protect the greater good, and they treat the water purposely to protect everyone. So are you not putting the city and the community at risk by drinking water that has been untreated and that the health authority is deemed unfit for human consumption?
No, not at all. I think it's my choice. I'm an individual. I put food from the grocery store into my body. I put all types of things into my body. I decide what soap I want to use, so I should be able to decide what kind of water I want to drink. It's my individual decision. It's for me and my family, and I don't think there should be any higher authority above me for such a basic need. I understand and I respect that the VIHA wants to treat the water for the masses of people, but for me, it's my own individual decision, and I really enjoy coming here, and I keep coming back. So it's at the end of the day, it's really up to me, and I'm my own free, sovereign individual, and that's why I like to call this freedom water.
Okay, so I'm here because this is freedom water. We've talked to a lot of people. I'm here to exercise my own individual sovereignty and choose which kind of water I'm drinking. I want to drink water without ammonia, without chloramine, and drink water from the earth. So this is natural spring water, and nobody has the authority to tell me which kind of water I can drink or which kind of water I can't drink. I know it's safe. It's been proven to be safe. So I'm not going to accept anybody that tells me I can't drink this water. So this is Josh Steffler with wearechange.victoria.org and Freedom Free for All TV, just reminding you that there are many ways to get out into your community. Water flows freely and is an unstoppable force, and we need to remember to allow our freedoms and our rights to flow just as powerfully. We look forward to seeing you the second Saturday of every month at this community building water-based event. I'm Josh Steffler with wearechange.victoria.org and Freedom Free for All TV, reminding you to be safe and be free. Hi, I'm Josh Steffler with We Are Change Victoria. I'm here at the Vic West Community Center for another one of our screenings. The movie tonight is called The Greater Good. It is an expose on the vaccine industry. It just shows some personal stories of people that have been injured by vaccines, and it shows the collusion and connection between vaccination industries and the government.
2 years ago, a vaccine completely changed my life. I would do anything to get my life back to normal.
History teaches us how effective vaccines are.
Vaccines are the best choice for almost all children.
I don't think it's that black and white.
Vaccines in some way have been a victim of their own success.
The government, they're trying to protect society, but these motivations interfere with, safety issues.
This will affect some change in the community by giving parents the tools and information that they need to make better and more informed decisions, to at least show them that not everything that the pharmaceutical industry and the vaccine industry is telling them, and that there is another side to the story.
In the last 3 decades, the numbers of doses of vaccines have more than tripled.
We are seeing a rise in the number of children with disabilities.
What if these shots that are supposed to protect kids actually hurt your child?
After the shots, I started getting sick. I've had 2 strokes, partial paralysis, partial vision, and I'm having seizures.
I would have never dreamt that this was a side effect of a vaccine.
And the discussion is very one-sided when it comes to vaccines, and people are spoon-fed government and pharmaceutical corporation propaganda, and so we're here to provide the other side of the story. We all need to make informed choices about what goes inside our bodies, and as parents, we need to make sure that we are making informed choices to best protect our children. So We Are Change is a group of individuals, a group of liberty-minded individuals that work together collaboratively in a non-coercive way to educate and inform and activate the public to critical issues that are not being discussed in the mainstream media and in popular culture. We are hosting film screenings on everything from chemtrails, forced vaccination, vaccines, false flag terrorist attacks. These are all issues that drastically affect society in an almost invisible way. Where some people worry about the invisible hand of the market, there is the invisible hand of propagandists and social engineers pushing and shaping and domesticating humanity. And we will be putting on more and more film screenings at the Vic West Community Center. Our next one will be Why in the World Are They Spraying?, which is a documentary about the chemtrail geoengineering issue and the possible reasons as to why they are spraying. I'm just going to go through some of the basic vaccine facts. These are given to us by the Vaccine Risk Awareness Network, which is a group that works in BC to at least show that there is another side to the vaccine story, the one that the government and Dr. Perry Kendall and the health authorities won't really tell you about. Number 1, are highly vaccinated children who can receive up to 41 doses of 14 vaccines by the time they are 18 months old are sicker than in previous generations. Where are the studies proving that it's safe to inject this many vaccines into babies whose immune system and brain has just started to develop? Today, 1 in 6 children is learning disabled, according to US government statistics. Canada has no official statistics. We have to assume that, like the US children, Canadian children have a comparable rate of disability. In the US, 1 in 87 children and 1 in 54 boys is autistic. Again, Canada has no stats. Public schools, under the auspices of the BC Infant Acts, tell children as young as 11 years old that they are old enough to sign vaccine consent forms and don't need their parents' permission to get vaccinated. Yet the same children are not provided with the same risk information about vaccines they are offered while at school. The state has usurped parental authority and now presumes to make your life and death decisions for your children. Concerned parents wonder why independently conducted risk-benefit analysis have never been done to compare long-term health outcomes in both vaccinated and unvaccinated children. For decades, parents of vaccine-injured children have been calling for such studies to understand whether children subjected to the intensive one-size-fits-all vaccine schedule are more or less healthy than children shielded by their families from mass vaccination programs. Autism and learning disability rates have climbed parallel to the addition of more vaccines starting in the 1980s. The first wave of children diagnosed with regressive autism started in the 1990s. In the last 25 years, concurrent with vaccine increase, children's health in many categories have declined dramatically. In autism, it's increased over 1,000 times in less than one generation. at least 1 in 88 in the USA. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is increased 10%. Learning disability is 1 in 6 children. Severe mood dysregulation, like bipolar disorder, 1 in 30. Ear infections, 50% of the Canadian 2 and 3-year-olds since birth are now experiencing ear infections. Allergies of all types have increased 6 times since the 1980s. Anaphylactic food allergies have doubled since the last decade. Allergic eczema is now 1 in 5 children. Asthma, 1 in 8 or more. 10% of Canadians 2 to 7 years old now have asthma. Obesity has tripled since 1980. 25% of Canadian children are overweight or obese. And juvenile diabetes has more than a 100% increase since 1980. These facts are all given to us by the Vaccine Risk Awareness Network.
Okay, I just wanted to share with everyone my personal experience with this issue. There are many ways to mandate vaccines, and one of the effective ways is to deprive people of employment unless they concede to getting the vaccine. Now, we've seen this in the coverage in the news here in Victoria. I personally have also experienced being terminated from employment. I was told in an orientation speech that they gave me that I was supposed to comply with the hazardous analysis critical control points, which is referred to, and you'll see it written on vehicles locally, as the HACCP. When I was introduced to this employment, shipping vegetables and such by refrigeration trucks, I was told that in the orientation that the HCCP is actually being developed by Codex Alimentarius, which is a branch of the United Nations. So we do indeed have an international agenda, if you will, imposing standards on Canadian industries, which are in effect mandating vaccination in order to maintain employment, because I was terminated specifically for that reason.
I'd like to point out that it's important, even if you don't agree with this information that you have, to at least, have the conversations, because if we don't have the conversations about vaccines, the only other people that are putting out the information is the vaccine corporations, the vaccine manufacturers, and they really don't care about measles, mumps, and rubella. They care about profits. I'm Josh Steffler with We Are Change Victoria. Find us online at wearechange.victoria.org or find us on Facebook. Until next time, be safe and be free.